three challenges faced by the construction industry: workforce shortage, definitely the regulatory environment out here, and then just finding work right now. So finding that next project to put in the pipeline. AGC's mission is to create a collaborative culture within the construction industry and try to push forward on those big problems that one company can't solve alone. So we all need to work together. In my crystal ball, I think the industry is going to have no problem surviving a brief hiccup. I think moving forward, we're all going to come out of this stronger because the market's going to be adjusted. We're going to have stronger companies, more productive workforces, and tackle all these challenges that are facing us right now.
Welcome to Boston Real Estate Times. Our guest today is John Ferrante. He is the CEO of AGC Massachusetts. We are going to talk to him about the state of construction industry in the state, as well as about his journey. About 5 years ago, he took over as the CEO of AGC. On that note, John, welcome to our studio.
Thank you, Benbrook. Thank you for having me.
Sure. You came to AGC as the CEO in 2021.
Yes.
It was just, during the COVID time. How was the situation at that time as far as the construction industry was concerned and where we are now? And I'm not going to ask you how does it look in the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, we can get to the next 4 or 5 years, but looking back, it was an interesting time to come into the AGC. Obviously, 2021 was sort of the tail end of COVID.
Sure.
And so the industry had done a lot to come together and work through some of those challenges, but whether it be the job site safety protocols that were required, the amazing supply chain issues that were going on at the time, projects being delayed or upended due to COVID infections, all of that going on. I was fortunate enough to come in sort of towards the tail end of that. So we had a lot of highly engaged members who really saw value in the association, bring the group together during the pandemic. And we've just tried to kind of keep that momentum going ever since.
So now let's switch our focus a little bit and we'll come back to again during this last 4 or 5 years. How is the pipeline for the general contractors today?
Right now, it's definitely a challenging environment. I mean, we're still seeing the effects of COVID and the pandemic, whether it be in remote work, which has upset the office market. Obviously, inflation rates haven't been where we want them, and the Federal Reserve keeping the interest rates at a higher level has hurt investment in real estate.
But it has started to go down now.
And it started to go down, yeah. And for a long time we heard once those interest rates tick down, projects are going to come back to life. But we're still waiting to see how far they have to come down before those projects start moving forward.
So how has technology impacted construction industry?
I think it's still impacting in a lot of ways. We had a lot of members that are interested in learning about how AI is going to be part of their operations moving forward. But, obviously BIM and virtual design and construction is huge now. We have general contractors that have entire departments devoted to 3D modeling and those kinds of things. And I think that's really where the industry is going to go, over the next 5-10 years, is expanding further that use of BIM and VDC, and then trying to incorporate AI into certain processes and operational things that are going on out in the field.
So if I ask you to pick 3 major challenges today faced by the construction industry, what will be there?
Ooh, that's a really hard one. Workforce is always a big issue, one that we're working hard to tackle at AGC along with our members, but inspiring that next generation to view construction not as a dirty or dangerous, job, but as a viable career path that, you can go into the field, you can work your way into the office, you can start in the office, go out in the field. There's a lot of, opportunities all throughout construction. So workforce is definitely one of our top concerns. I would say the regulatory environment as well in Massachusetts is challenging, and we understand where we live, and our members try to be good members of the community, but it's challenging when you're layering on zoning regulations with diverse building codes that are out in the marketplace, and of course, green building standards.
Now the energy codes too.
Energy codes, are increasing. The challenges for these projects, because AGC's members can build just about anything, but if it doesn't pencil out for the developers or the owners, then that's where we have a challenge.
So, as the key spokesperson for the construction industry, and you mentioned the regulatory challenges, how AGC Massachusetts has been dealing with these regulations and state and the local officials?
Yeah, part of it is just embracing it. So, we have done some professional development and education around passive house building. So, trying to get our members certified as passive house builders to meet those, specialized energy codes that are out there. But also having conversations with policymakers and letting them know that these are forces which are, putting some downward pressure on the construction industry, and not that we are against renewable energy or sustainability, but trying to do it in a way that causes as little disruption to business as possible is what we advocate for.
So, John, you have been in this industry, one aspect or other aspect, for a very, very long time. You worked with many organizations and associations in the industry. And so what are some of the major changes that you have seen, that how the industry has evolved or changed?
There's been a lot of change just within my 5 years at AGC, but I think one of the things that we're really working hard on is what we broadly call industry advancement. So embracing diversity, equity, and inclusion as part of the future of the construction industry. Working on the workforce development efforts and trying to bring in the next generation into the industry, and then safety and wellness, like the growth that we've seen in terms of safety culture within the industry, and how that's now layering on total worker wellness and mental health and substance abuse prevention and suicide awareness and all of these other things has really been inspiring to see as the industry tries to keep taking steps forward while delivering these amazing projects.
And also the women force is also growing up.
Women, yeah.
I remember I used to be a real estate editor at the Boston Business Journal in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And there were hardly any women you would see in the construction industry, but now you see the helmets, and just really that has grown. And I think AGC also has taken a good initiative in focusing on diversity and equity. That has also played a role.
We have, yeah. And, it's something that we've tried to tackle from a variety of different angles, whether it be our Building Women in Construction Committee, which supports females in the industry, or our Committee for Diversity and Inclusion, which is really kind of honed in on trying to enhance the diversity of our subcontractor and suppliers within the industry, but also how do we create a more inclusive environment for everybody, to experience as well. So we are definitely focused on bringing more diversity to the industry, because that's where we see the future going.
Sure. So, John, in 2024, AGC celebrated 100 years. And then the National AGC was born in 1918, just a few years before Massachusetts, one of the oldest chapters.
Yep.
And so what you guys did in 2024 to celebrate?
Yeah, it was really great coming in at the time when I did, because 2024 we were able to celebrate our 100 years. We rented out the stateroom at 60 State Street and had about 400 people come and celebrate AGC, where we showcase some of our history and some video productions that we did. We had former Mayor Marty Walsh come in and give us a keynote, about the impact that the industry's had on the city and on Massachusetts. And it was a really special time to kind of look back, but also start to think about what the future holds as well.
So I'm going to ask you, what is the AGC Massachusetts plan for the next 100 years? But maybe 2 months. But one thing
I'm trying to make it through the next 100 days instead of the next 100 years.
Yes. So now tell us about some of the key mission of AGC Massachusetts and AGC in general, and how AGC really helps its members.
Yeah, I mean, we do a lot for our members, and we do a lot, on a day-to-day basis. But our focus is really trying to build as collaborative an organization as we can to help advance the construction industry and raise our profile within the Commonwealth, because we think that there are some amazing builders in this state, some world-class companies and organizations, and we call a lot of them our members, which is really great. But for the next 100 years, can we be a part of helping push the industry forward in those areas that I talked about earlier with the industry advancement, doing things that you can only do together, you can't do individually.
Actually, some of the local construction companies have also taken big initiative in training the future pool, working with high school students and all to get that, which is great. Yes.
Yeah. There's a lot of individual efforts that are going on out there, and I don't know if the industry does a great job publicizing all of the work that they are doing in those areas, and that's where we see our job to step in and say, here's everything that we're doing. Here's all of our members contributing, and really raising the profile of those efforts in that way.
Excellent. So now, if I ask you to put your crystal ball and tell us that, what are the sectors and areas which have been really badly affected by the, this COVID and slowdown in the economy and technology, complete halt in the office market, and where the growth you think is coming up in the near future?
Sure. I mean, I think looking back, it was an incredible run over the last decade or so within Massachusetts.
And life sciences alone.
The amount of building that was going on, if you think back to what the Seaport area in Boston looked like 15 years ago compared to now, it's incredible. That is to say, a lot of that space remains vacant, whether it be the labs, some of the offices. I think it's been well documented some of the challenges that we have in the office market within Boston in particular. And I think office, life science certainly are hurting right now. We're also seeing little hiccups in higher education. With some of the uncertainty coming out of the federal government around higher education, I think is causing them to be a little bit more cautious. Sure. Typically in slower times, that's when, some of those higher education clients really want to spend the money because they know they're going to get a good price and a good deal on their projects. But, moving forward, housing is going to be huge.
Multifamily is doing quite good. Actually.
Multifamily is doing well. Again, it's running into some headwinds with sort of the development environment in Massachusetts, whether it be, the NIMBY movement, local opposition to building projects, or like we talked about, the specialized energy codes and things like that, which make it more challenging to get some of these projects off the ground. But I see multifamily as definitely an area of optimism moving forward. And then public sector. I mean, Massachusetts has done a great job building up a diverse group of contractors that are working in the public sector, be it public safety buildings, school buildings, and then healthcare as well. We see healthcare.
Now, one question I'm going to ask, this is what I have heard from some people in the industry, that many of the Hispanic workers and all have started. They're very hesitant to go to the on work site, and because they don't know whether they will be the site will be raided by ICE or they can be just arrested or something like that. Have you heard of that? Or just a rumor?
I think we've heard there's definitely some uneasiness out there. And I was actually having a conversation this morning with a few attorneys that are going to talk our members through immigration compliance and what to do if ICE shows up on a job site and those kinds of things. The environment out there is difficult because I think it's a uneven enforcement mechanism that's going on right now. And our employers go through great pains to make sure that everyone on their job sites is working there legally. But the challenge is there are folks who, feel like they might be targeted just because of how they look. And that's
what exactly happens.
Yeah. And that's, something that we are trying to take on by giving employers the ability to understand, how do we protect our workers' rights if ICE shows up on site? How do we make sure that, we're doing the best we can for the tradespeople that are
all the time? I hear that every construction company I talk to, they say, we are really having a hard time hiring people. We are really hard time. So how AGC is trying to, help them with the labor supply?
There's a few things that we're doing. One, we do a lot with young people. So we're talking middle school to high school age kids, exposing them to the industry, showing them all the different careers that are available, and trying to, inspire them that as they get older, hopefully 10 years down the line, they're looking to come into the construction industry. We've also set up great partnerships with Franklin Cummings Tech and some of the other student chapters within Massachusetts to try to bring some of those high achieving students or adult learners who are trying to get into the industry, help them find an internship or a co-op and with one of our members, and just really trying to change the perception of construction. It's high tech, it's safe, it's professional, it's competitive, it's all of those
things. And you can also
work
work on the computer sitting in the office.
Exactly. Like I said, there's VDC professionals who, they all sit and build things, virtually all day long. And then they try to give it to the field, and the field tries to do it out in the real world.
Management, there's so many areas where you can...
Everything. Yep. I like to say that construction's not a job, it's a whole industry. So someone says, what do? You say, I do construction. It could mean any number of things.
Right. Yes. Yeah. But generally, what people think that people see working on the cranes and all, that is not that is one aspect of construction industry, but there's a whole lot.
There's something for everybody, no matter what you're interested in. We can find a spot for you.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So on that note, John, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Upendra.
And we're looking forward to having more conversations with you and industry leaders.
Excellent. Thank you.
Good.
Come join AGC Mass. We'd be happy to have more member companies.
Join us and be part of something greater than yourself. Alone, you may be a builder, but together, we are building excellence. The Associated General Contractors of Massachusetts. Building excellence today. Building excellence tomorrow. Building excellence for Massachusetts.